All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this here podcast. You guys, I have a treat. I have a treat. This is last minute. It's set up very, very last minute. However, I do have a treat for you guys. I have a few guests that'll be joining us to discuss this subject. And this is a very, very, very good subject, you guys. This is has to do with something that I think we can all relate to. I mean, at the end of the day, who doesn't know about the color purple? So, what we will be discussing is a specific quote and what this means to us, to me, you, everybody around us. The quote that I'm referring to comes from Alice Walker's 1982 novel, The Color Purple. It is a Pulitzer Prize winning book that explores racism, sexism, and resilience in the early 20th century. Here's the quote: "All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight my cousins and my uncles. A girl child ain't safe in a family of men. But I ain't never thought I'd have to fight in my own house. I loves Harpo, God knows I do, but I'll kill him dead before I let him beat me." Now, that is the quote from Sophia. That happened between her and Celie in one of the scenes from The Color Purple. Famous scene. Y'all know how it looks. Y'all know how it goes. Came out of this particular book. So we're going to talk about some of that tonight. We're going to talk about self-worth. We're going to talk about abuse and depression and happiness and growth and all of these different elements that come with being um, in the position that Sophia was in, or whatever that looks like to us in our positions. So I am trying to find um, one of the people that are going to be on video with me. Also, I have here my dear friend. If you want to come in frame, so we're going to have. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Crystal.
Okay, so this is Crystal. Crystal actually is an expert and deals in mental health. And so she can really speak to a lot of what goes on in I want to say the community, but I don't want to necessarily say community. I want to kind of say like personal lives and things of that nature. Hello, Melissa Keynes. Very, very nice to see you in here. Thank you for throwing them diamonds at me. Thank you for all of you guys who are joining us this late. This ended up being a more of a scramble than I thought it would be, you guys, and I truly, truly apologize. They said hello, Crystal.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen the scene from The Color Purple. I'm sure you guys know good and well what that scene entails, what it is, what the situation was, and that there was abuse going on in that scene. And let me tell y'all something: the abuse don't only have to be physical, okay? Abuse could be emotional because I feel some type of way, and verbal. But I'm just telling y'all know I feel some type of way. Those of you who have been following me, i.e., Melissa Keynes. Okay. You guys, please take a moment to go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and share this video. Please excuse the lighting. Like I said, this was a scramble. It was a last minute. Um, and we are going to get into subjects. Now I have a few other people that are in the room with me, and I have a few other people that are going to be popping in and out. If anybody wants to come on screen, please let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link for y'all. If you can't see it, let me know, and I will fix that as soon as I can. Let me know if you guys can see this down below. If you can, you can't, you can't. But you guys know you have to be live with me in order to be able to be on screen with me. So just make sure you guys are catching the lives, period. Okay, because we're going to be getting into some things. Okay, so first of all, Crystal, in what you do at work, like what type of people do you deal with?
People that have schizophrenia, bipolar, picaine.
Hiking?
Like they'll pick stuff off the floor and eat it, or
Really?
hints and stuff like that. Rip their clothes. Their clothes have a hole, they'll rip it. It's just their behaviors, fabrication, accusing you of stuff that you didn't do.
Oh, we.
They'll
Oh,
call
we.
licensing. They'll call regional center, and then you'll be
Really?
under investigation. So they could call you your license
Wow.
because we're
Wow.
licensed.
Okay.
through the state, through the government, and
Wow.
we're fingerprinted.
So you're dealing with real mental health issues on a daily.
Yes.
Most of us are. Okay, you can see it. Thank you. Most of us are. And I think that the reason why I bring up mental health is because that's going to be an underlining tone for this entire video. I always want to keep that in mind. Okay, so I have one more person that I'm going to go ahead and add to the stage. I'm going to add Yusuf to the stage. Hey, boo, how are you?
Hey, what's good? Can you hear me?
I can.
All
And I
right.
don't know why my caption just came on, but I wish it would go off.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, tell us, Yusuf, what in what ways? Because I don't know if you caught the beginning portion of this video. Did you?
No, I just was getting situated. I was getting a drink and stuff, and
Put more lighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put more lighting.
I know that's right. Look, we listen.
all
We
right.
all need a drink or two sometimes. It's all right. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're discussing the color purple quote. Um, I will kill Harpo before I let him dead. I'll kill Harpo dead before I let him beat me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the quote. Let me requote the whole thing. All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight my cousins and my uncles. A girl child ain't safe in a family of men, but I ain't never thought I'd have to fight in my own house. I loves Harpo. God knows I do, but I'll kill him dead before I let him beat me. Mm. And I was telling the audience, because as you know, this video will float into tomorrow. We're kind of late, but I was telling the audience that abuse is not only physical, as we should know as adults. Abuse is also could also be verbal and emotional. For me, I went through something recently, and I had to realize I was being abused. Um, for me recently, and as you guys know, I obviously deal with the internet. I deal with a lot of personalities, but I really thought that this one, that I had a hold on this one and knew who this person was. And I feel extremely betrayed by this person. And I feel like not necessarily kill him dead. My kill him dead is like he's deceased from my life. Like you are done to me. So for me, the quote is more metaphorical than it is um literal, but but for me, I literally had to pick myself up by the bootstraps, all after all this betrayal that I went through, and say, yeah, this person, I will kill him dead before I allow him to beat me, to beat my soul, to beat my emotions, not just necessarily me physically. That's how it spoke to me, you know and the betrayals that I've gone through. So this
That was,
person was supposed to drive me to work and then drive me to work, and it was important, very
right.
important.
That was very profound for you to get that out of that too, to look at it that way,
Mm-hmm,
because that is actually another very great interpretation of it. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
The whole point where Sophia was saying she was literally talking about physically kill him dead,
Right.
but it's that mental death, that spiritual death, that emotional death,
Mm-hmm.
that
I didn't have to get rid of a lot of motherfuckers. Okay.
exactly, and it is definitely a process. And of course, that's a better solution than literally going for the physical. But for what she was saying, we understood it, and it's interesting how we could all see something, rather it's deep or not, and we all get a different interpretation of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. What
Drop
did you take from it?
the stream at where we at here because I don't see you on True
We're
Talk.
on we're on T Hive Book Club. We're on T Hive Book Club YouTube channel.
Okay.
And we're here with Crystal,
Hi, Crystal.
Emily,
Hi.
myself, and Yusuf. That
Hi,
is who is
Emily.
in the room at this very moment. The Teal Kitchen, baby. Yes. Come through, Teal Kitchen. I want to change the color of my assets. Let's see. I think they're down here. While we're getting prepared. There we go. There we go. This channel is definitely green. Money green. Getting into it. Money green. How many of you guys miss me reading these books, these celebrity books? How many of y'all want me to get into more than just celebrity books? Okay, so while Yusuf is getting ready, because let me keep the format of the podcast going. Tell me, what is it, Crystal, that you take from that excerpt? Like, I've always had to fight. And this is true for me in my life, for facts. Like, y'all don't understand that I have siblings that I don't get along with. You know what I mean? I have a parent that I don't get along with. Shit, I've always had to fight. I got to fight right now. I'm fighting from the bottom up. Um, and I'm not safe in a house, in my own environment. And she said in a house full of men. So a little girl ain't safe in a house full of men. But I'm not safe where I am. You know what I'm saying? And but I will kill this man before I allow him to mistreat me. I will kill whoever this man is, or whatever this man could be. This job, shit, I have to quit this job before I let it kill me. It could be anything. So, what does it speak to you?
For me, I would say it speaks to, as in my life right now where I'm at, I would say my job, because I don't have nobody in my life like that.
Mhm.
But other than that, everything was okay growing up. I just ran away at a very young age because I was verbally abused.
Right.
So my aunt, if it was back in the day, would have been my aunt, because she was rude and evil to me. And I just feel like you should have just let me go to the system if you was going to treat me like that.
Right. Ain't that crazy how like verbal abuse is equivalent to emotional abuse, but it just feels so wrong that it even gives you this physical feeling of just, I don't know. It's a certain feeling that goes through your body. It could be fear. If somebody is verbally abusing you, it could be fear. It could be it makes you feel things physically. It changes you.
Yes, very much so. So that's why I'm very reserved and I'm to myself. And I go to work and I come home and I close myself off.
Right.
I just stay to myself.
Right.
That's my peace.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But
because I could get out of character real quick if somebody provokes me. It's just a little something they say or do. I'm just like, oh, hold up,
Right.
So right. I enjoy my freedom and my kids need me. I got a lot to lose.
Right. I know that's right. That's where I'm at. I've got a lot to lose, and we gotta really we have to really think through these things. Like, I'ma kill him was crazy. Okay. I'ma kill him was wild, but it was deep, and it shows you the desperation that was dripping off of her for her to be respected, and for her to be valued and to be treated correctly. And like, you know what? I got cheering by this man, because at that time it was cheering by this man, but I still know my value as a woman. Even back in the day, I still know my value, and I will not let anyone treat me this way. But what did it say to you though, Yusuf?
Again, so I definitely see what you were saying, and I probably wouldn't have thought that at first, but I definitely see that interpretation. Mm-hmm. And also what Crystal was saying, it does have us like that. And you know me personally, I'm working on that, not being in that. And it's like your energy, your vibe, your spirit, your speech, your tone, everything is giving off a fight response. And it does come from living a certain life and being on the defense. You know what I'm saying? And because you let people push all over you, and at some point you might have to stand up to a bully. But as far as this particular scene, well, I'm referring to the movie. I know this based off Toni Morrison's book, right?
It's based off of
not Toni.
Not Toni. It's based off of
Alice Cooper. That's right. Alice Cooper. Yeah, that's what it is. Also, okay, I just had to remember, sometimes those great black authors, you get them mixed up, because we only have a few. So
and it just boggled my brain for 5 seconds.
We only got a few whose books were that big in culture. You know what I'm saying? And so this book and Beloved, that's easy to remember. That's just as easy as them getting Oprah to play it. But so it speaks to me about not only all the life you had to fight and being in a fight response, not only
constantly fight or flight.
What it's like as women and girls in any community, not just the black community, women and girls is already a target already in and of itself. And
absolutely.
So it speaks to me about the sisterhood, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's because it's the sisterhood and the generational gaps. It's the older woman talking to the young mammy.
Uh-huh.
Just because that's what you deal with,
don't mean I'm gonna deal with it.
I'm gonna deal with.
Mm-hmm.
It also speaks to misery loves company, but not all the damn time. And, for like I said, for the generational gap,
she was talking silly.
It was reversed, but it was still effective. When it's bridging the generational gap, it doesn't matter if the younger person is bridging the older person or if the older person is bridging the younger person. And in this case, we saw an example of generational gaps where the older generation was more wise.
Right. Because you talk now the difference between, it's funny that Sophia was telling this to Celie, because the difference between Celie and Sophia is that Sophia was, what we would call a boss bitch nowadays. She wasn't gonna let nobody get in her face. She didn't give a damn if it was her husband. I don't think so. Whereas Celie was what I call the word is she was protective to her abuser. So there's a such thing as protective abuse. And that's what Celie was going through. Even though everybody knew she was being abused. Right. They knew she was being abused. She knew she was being abused. I don't think she had Stockholm syndrome. She knew she was being abused. And she wanted to get away. She didn't want to be around him. Right. That was protective abuse. And that's why I called it that.
Right.
There's a huge difference between those two. I think a lot of us, especially us like adults, that are in relationships, and especially me being on social media with my relationship, I think he on here smoking and shit. I think that there is a kind of like a stigma, like you're supposed to. You make yourself look good through making your partner look good. So you don't want to sully your relationship or look a certain way to other people. So you're protective of this abuser. And I think that's funny that the dynamics between the two was so different in that scene. I don't know if anybody's ever even looked at it that way.
But that goes back to the conditioning of the girls and the children, because it like society is already teaching like the way that people are conditioning little boys versus the way they're conditioning little girls. And then when they grow up, they have to meet in the middle as adults. We're sending out broken and unraised people. And it's a lot of people who's stuck at a certain age in their childhood when certain trauma happened. And then as an adult, trauma happens. And so it piles on to you. And you trying to maneuver out here in this world, And so that's what Sophia had in her. Celie didn't have that in her. She was already just perfectly broken in the fresh generation. Sophia had been going through enough to where she was trying to find her way. And, she knew it wasn't right and she wanted something more out of life, And she was, also she was more strong mentally and physically, And so those were some differences that I saw there. But nothing, other than that, that was what really stood out to me is just the generational thing of how they condition you from a little girl on up to you wind up in a situation like that. Because when Celie got with Mr., she wasn't but what, like 14, 15?
Right. She was very young, groomed.
Exactly. Grooming.
Yeah, she was groomed. She was conditioned and groomed, whereas Sophia wasn't in that position. I know there are a lot of us that are Sophias. You said what?
Where's Emily?
Emily she's over here. She's listening to the conversation.
What does she think?
What do you think, Emily, about that quote? You probably need to come a little closer.
Yeah, come introduce yourself.
Yeah. We're gonna let Emily introduce herself. Let me get her on screen. So, hello.
Hello.
I'm Emily.
I'm Emily.
Okay, so this is Emily's first time on a podcast. As you guys can see, there's 3 of us here in the room. Emily, what did you think about the quote? All my life I've had to fight, basically, and I'm not gonna allow Harpo to beat me. I will kill him dead before I allow him to beat me.
What I think about it is,
you probably should talk a little bit.
Your dad treated you when you grew up.
Yeah, the fact that how my dad treated me when I grew up, and it's hurtful how he could raise and be with other kids and not be with his own.
Right. Oh, that is one of the. I had a man like that before, and I could not stand him for that. I would be like, I would see him spend more time with literally
Right.
other kids, random kids,
Mhm.
and not spend time with his own kid. Like,
My dad did that too, and he eventually ran from those kids too, just Dusty. But you know what's
he
interesting?
was dusty. That is very dusty.
I wanted y'all to pay attention to two things. One, notice how things like this transcend race. So even with different demographics and groups being a whole thing of itself, there are certain things that transcend race that should be bringing people together for the right reasons, such as domestic abuse, such as broken homes. These are the things that people of all races go through in the household with their dusty ass fathers.
And it's
Okay,
not just fathers. Remember, guys, me, it's a situation for me with my
right?
mother. I
I
was
know.
raised by my father. My mother
Right,
did
right.
not raise me.
I
So
just say that for a figure of speech in the general collective, but I definitely know there are a lot of situations like yours, and you really had a really great father. I had the pleasure of speaking with him. But
yes.
also the other thing, um, what Emily was talking about that she went through with her father, and we all can relate to that too. That was also a part of the book and the story and the movie of The Color Purple with Suge Avery's storyline. Remember, her father disowned her, but
Yes.
he
And she
had
was
a whole
walking
nother
to the church
family
crying,
somewhere else.
trying to get his
Yep.
approval.
She was always trying to get his approval and his acceptance, and she had a
So,
beautiful voice, and he was the pastor. He still wouldn't accept his own
yeah.
daughter all the way into the end.
But so let me ask you a question then, Emily. Does it make you feel like you want to get his acceptance? Still, like, are you at, because I know you are in your 20s, right? So
Yeah.
are you still in a place where you like want his acceptance? Because I know, like, for me, I got to a place where I was like, you know what, she's never going to be who I want her to be, and I'm never going to be who she wants me to
Yeah,
be.
I
So
realized
fuck it.
that at a young age. I realized that a long time ago. So it's just, gave up on it. It's really nothing. You're chasing something that you'll never get.
Okay, but if he came to you today and was like,
No,
listen, no,
it's too late. I'm already grown. It's
right. That reminds me of
I
Riley
was
Burris.
I
Like, you
needed
can't
you when I
raise
was
me
little. I
now.
don't need you
Right,
here now. Like,
right.
how am I gonna let you walk me down the aisle when you never were here to give me something to eat or something to drink
Right.
or anything? You don't know if I
Mm-hmm.
ate, slept, or shit today, like, or if I have somewhere to lay my head at that night or anything like that. So yeah,
Because my
Man,
anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger.
yeah.
right. So
She a
it's
little tough cookie.
right. A lot of us go through these different betrayals, and I think it really grows us. It changes us. Like, I know you always be there for your kid because your
Mhm.
dad wasn't there for you.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be the best loving, supportive parent to my kid because my mom
Also, I
wasn't
try to
there
be the
for
best
me.
sister I
And then I
could.
was with my auntie. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to be
You're
the
the way
best
you are to your
because
kid.
I'm always up under my kids.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Okay. Suge Avery quotes real quick. Number one, you got to love yourself, Miss Silly. Nobody else gonna love you. Okay. Number two, I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. Number three, girl, you still a virgin? You never enjoyed nothing. Just suffer. Number four, people think pleasing God is all God care about. But any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back. Can see it always trying to please us back. I don't know what that means. Everything want to be loved. Us sing and dance and holler, just trying to be loved. Okay, so she was using us as in we. So when she said that, but any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back. She's basically saying we trying to please God, but God is always trying to please us back. I just wanted to do some Sugar Avery quotes because I thought it would be cute to stay in theme with the podcast, with the Color Purple podcast, and topics of betrayal. So, and I'm gonna pick with Emily and her story real quick because I want to let her go because her and my daughter are having a kiki. So I'm gonna pick her brain and let her go. Okay, just so y'all know. Okay, so so you're his only child with your mom,
No, I have another brother. He only has 2 kids.
and is he in the brother's life?
Yeah.
But he just decided not to be in yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how my mom
Well,
did.
Mom, you
I
had
don't
your
fuck
brother
with that.
leave
I don't
the
fuck
But
house.
with that.
like it was a whole situation, and when him and my mom separated, he wanted to keep the little boy, and my mom stayed with the girl.
Okay.
And then after that, it wasn't what he was doing. It wasn't a fit, stable home for a kid. So my mom took him back,
Yeah.
and my mom had him or whatever and stuff. But he came back around and stuff because my mom's not gonna keep us from our dad.
And what age were
And-
you when he came back around, love?
That was like around when I was
A year ago, 20.
a year ago or so.
Really?
Uh-huh.
He made my 6-year-old leave the house and go with him.
Yeah.
When we came home, my 6-year-old wasn't here. He took it.
Really?
So I had to go do a police report. It's a lot to the story.
Oh man.
So he got the 6-year-old. He don't go to school. He don't want to take a shower. He don't want to do nothing. He's gonna be like a little low life.
Really? That's so crazy.
That's so sad.
I don't know. I think
Sometimes people don't know what people are battling and going through when they.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes somebody could be a ticking time bomb for what they're going through.
Wait, so so in speaking to that, right? Do you forgive? And this is a question for you too, Yusuf. And you too, Emily. Do you forgive? And me too, child. Do you forgive? Do you forgive? Be quiet. I haven't even asked it yet. Shush. No. Do you forgive these parents based on the fact that we know mental health is an underlying issue? We know that people are undiagnosed, bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever.
Mhm.
We know that people have pressures, like as far as like Harpo beating on his wife. We know that came from Mr. We know that came from somewhere else. He could have pressures. No, I just want you to be with me. I don't want you to raise those kids. Hell, Jay-Z not claiming his other kids because Beyonce don't want them to. So there's those type of
He was
pressures.
sitting here on the elevator when her sister was there. Remember?
You know what I'm saying? There's those type of pressures. Do we forgive our betrayers because we know that these things exist? Yusuf already said you just gonna be
I
sarcastic.
just feel like they sweep everything under the rug. Like they got
What you
it so
talking-
good. I feel.
What do you mean?
I just feel like they sweep everything under the rug. Like it's a-okay. Like when you ask the system for help, the system don't help you. But then they want you to be a statistic and a number to the system.
Mhm.
And then when you take things into your own hand, you're going to jail.
Right. Go upside his head one time. No, I'm just playing. So do you forgive, Emily? So do you forgive based on those things though? On the fact that like there are pressures. I feel like Sophia forgave Harpo because she knew Mr. was in his ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we forgive based on like these situations, or is it just like, fuck no, I can't deal with this? I'm at a place with my betrayal, with my relationship with this man, the unreliableness, the unreliability. It's a hell no. I won't go. I'm over it. I don't.
I
wanna
say
be-
no because you could forgive, but you can never forget.
Right.
So
And
it's,
shit, me remembering gonna keep me stuck.
you
Okay.
And I'm an overthinker, so we don't want to go there.
We're gonna be stuck. Okay.
Right. I got did you have more on that, Talks?
Did you want to discuss more on it?
Well, I mean, I had my reasons too, because I mean, first and foremost, outright just on the surface, just being a like energy type of person, it's a hell no for me. And I have a reason, but I will say the yes because the yes is easier. Yes, because everybody will say yes. Yes, because everybody knows forgiveness is for you and not them. And yes, for all the cliche reasons that it's healthy to just forgive. But I have a hard time forgiving the unapologetic.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
have a hard time forgiving the unapologetic. Forgiveness is a grace. Forgiveness is a grace.
It is.
And I mean, it really don't make me no difference whether I forgive you or not. What it helped me logic with the situation is what gives me peace. Your apology is what gives me peace and the will to even be able to forgive you. And so when you never apologize, and especially as a parent, and I know that a lot of parents do that. I don't know about other communities, but I know in the Black community, parents are real good with that because we got a lot of people who became parents young, right? And then get up to understand, oh, my mom was young and, and she had a hard time and my dad had a tough deal. We can understand this and we can logic to see you, to forgive you when you would run and never face it or apologize, yet alone. But we can logic as your child and the younger one than you that you had a hard time and to try to give you the benefit of the doubt, hoping that you would embrace us a certain way.
Right. Very
and
true.
when it never happens, it keeps people let down on the hamster wheel for their parents' love and approval,
Mm-hmm.
And so, and just like what Emily said, no, because you weren't there. So it's like you didn't get a chance to form that strong bond. So to be able to start from scratch is going to take a lot. And
right.
I'm not.
I think it's harder for a relationship to bond between a parent and a child when your child is grown and you're just now getting into the groove of let me parent this child because I want to now be in their lives. It's like, motherfucker, where the fuck have you been?
Because the question is always going to be, where were you?
Oh, absolutely.
The question is always going to be, who wiped my ass?
Right. Yeah. Who wiped my ass? Right. Yeah, exactly. That part.
That'll always be my question.
Can you say that again?
And it's because
the question is always, you were talking about accountability. Mm-hmm. And then you said something really good about the question is always going to be.
He knew that they wasn't there, but he didn't.
Hell, I don't know, but Yusuf making me want to smoke and to read The Color Purple. I might have to go watch the Oprah. What you think about Oprah making so many damn, doing all these years of Color Purple and then making another one end of 2024? Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, like people, they don't take accountability of what they do or whatever, and they make excuses that they don't own up to their wrongs.
Okay, you went back to the dad, to what we were talking about in regards to your dad, or just those type of situations. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, that fan ain't gonna let me like this.
But that was my yes and no. That was my reason for yes and my reason for no. And the other reason, because if I can see your experience as your child, and when you let me down and you failed, why can't you see it on my side of how I'm coming at you and I'm younger than you and you're the one who had the experience? And so if I can empathize with you and still love you as my parent who wasn't there, why can't you accept it and, just embrace your child? And so I just think that parents have a real tough time with that, just thinking that they can never do no wrong and that they've never done no wrong. And I blame all that on a lot of different things, even down to people not wanting to take advice from each other and saying that you can't give somebody advice because you don't have any kids, when you could literally be that child inside.
Right. I commend parents that are able to apologize to their children, men that are able to apologize and admit they wrong and take accountability to their women, or their man. These type of dynamics, these relationships, and that type of grace, that's the type of things that we need. But to just expect forgiveness for something that you have not done is crazy. We got Demita in the house. Thank you for showing up. Are you admin on here, girl? Let me look.
Shout out to everybody.
My admin is adminning. There's not much to admin yet, but we gonna get into it and it's gonna get there. But yeah, I do understand Emily's situation. Like for me, it's not a thing where I'm about to just forgive my mom. That's not gonna happen. Too much has happened, too much was said, too much was done, too much wasn't done. And mind you, I believe that I believe she loved her kids, but me and her, it's too late. It's too late. It's too much going on.
That's another thing too, that a lot of these parents don't realize the monster that creates, because they literally recreated themselves when they made you anyway. So even with all those ways that they think that they got that's stopping them from being able to see your side, you got that about you too, to where you can't forgive them, or to where you're ready to give them the same energy they give you, or you're ready to cut them off. And so, hey, like I said, if you don't wipe my ass when I'm a baby, I'm not wiping yours when you're old.
Yeah,
right.
When I needed you wasn't there, so why be for you now?
Exactly.
That part.
Don't try to wait till I'm famous.
Exactly.
What you say?
Yeah, when I needed him the most, he wasn't there. He can't even remember one day out of the year.
Your birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hell no.
He'll call her the next day and tell her happy birthday, so it makes her feel some type of way because he can't even remember her birthday.
Right.
So that's sad. But he'll remember his other son's birthday, her brother's birthday.
Right.
Well,
And that's not okay either.
She's the firstborn.
And that
Right.
that favoritism shit is
Mhm.
crazy too.
Yes.
We don't do that.
right now, he owes her $257,000,87 22,000
Girl.
And pay that money.
Mhm.
Girl, I
In
would put him on back child support so
150
quick.
years.
Honey, because if I was Sophia, ain't no way I would have ended up working for that white woman, honey. I would have been put his ass. Harpo would have been on child support.
I would have worked for her, but I would have been spitting in her food, and I would have been over there
Ooh, baby.
kicking her teeth.
Baby, you one of them devious types, not spitting in them.
So I'll be your slave.
Ooh. Okay, let's talk about different forms of betrayal. So we have secrets, omission, betrayals as survivor tools, like stealing little stuff. You know what I mean? Just so many different ones that's the reason why this particular line or scene from the book stood out so much to me because it spoke deeper to deeper things than we know. Now she didn't even leave Harpo because of her loyalty to the situation. Much like Emily, her pops just came around last year. She still fucked with him, even though he didn't necessarily do right. I still had loyalty to this man who is a must be complete insane jackass. And even though he didn't do right, you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we have Crystal. Now, Crystal spoke to us a little tiny bit about her situation, just working in mental health. But do you want to elaborate on anything? Oh, okay.
Elaborate on mental health and anything in general,
Or just in general, like,
I've been working in mental health for 21 years. It's a lot. So now it's kind of like,
because she was
it's
saying
hard.
she got betrayed by her patients. Like they'll call the board on you. Like that's what she was saying when we started
Right.
the situation.
Right.
And then one of them could have cost me my license. And I'm like, if I lose my license, I'm gonna come back and do what he said I did. So he could at least get my license taken, because my license is how I feed my children. That's my career.
Right. But so you felt, so let me ask you a question. Do you work with your patients long term? Like you see them every day?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh. That's like,
so that's why I come home and
prison.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of energy.
Thank you. I'm spiritual energy.
A lot of people need that themselves too. You need someone who you can talk to as well.
Yes.
You know, about all of that you're hearing all day.
My sanity.
Right.
Absolutely.
And can I say one thing that's weird? I know this is weird and this has nothing to do with this situation, but it does, because I have a friend who felt betrayed by her therapist, and I have a distrust for therapists as well when it comes to trust in
Wait. Why did she feel betrayed by her therapist?
Well, my hunch was true. Like, wait, I'm reluctant and don't trust a stranger with all my business. It was okay. So she's a Black Haitian immigrant. She's legal, but there's some people in her family who's not. So there's a little Haitian community, and the Haitian therapist talking to her while she's going through all this abuse and trauma, being pregnant, all different types of stuff that she's going through. And she's telling the therapist knows she's pregnant, reported her for children and youth, and then she had a child, reported her unborn child, children and youth, for being in a dangerous environment because she's currently dealing with abuse or whatever, and she's pregnant now, which is true. But could you just imagine the level of betrayal that she feels as a Black Haitian immigrant abused woman who's talking to another Black Haitian immigrant woman? How she, oh my God,
that's crazy.
And so I seen what that's like from the other side. So I can only imagine being the person who's sitting there as the emotional sponge for all these people to not appreciate that.
It be your own people.
Yeah,
it does. It be your own people.
That. and chosen for that. So they're built for that, but it still doesn't. It's not fair to leave you out there to dry. It's not at all. Because who else would they talk to?
Trust issues.
Yeah, I think it fosters major trust issues in everybody. I think everybody, just because of the way the world is set up right now and how it do be your own people.
Because I have friends that hung out with before. We get into it because they're acting weird, and then they don't want to fight you. You know what they do? They want to call child services on you and make allegations, causes a case. So that's why I don't even hang out with females like that too. Been there, done that.
Something. Like it ain't even about females. I've had family do some shit like that to me before. Yes, because they're mad at me because I won't do something they want me to do.
See, that's
girl, I've had my own family do some shit like that to me. So I don't do when that. It comes down to that type of loyalty and distrust and disloyalty and all of those different elements, then I know all about it. Trust and believe.
That's sad. Your own family.
My own family have done shit like that before, and not just. I'm not saying necessarily just to me, like not necessarily cultural services, but shit like that. And I've seen them do shit like that before to other people, and these are not people that I necessarily am around or want to be around, because I have seen them do them type of thing. It'll make you be protective even against your own fucking family. That's sad. Right. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Can I add one thing? Because I know we got to get back on top, because I know a perfect way that this could segue back into The Color Purple as well, because, you know, we have a lot of characters who dealt with a lot of betrayal there as well. Yeah. So I do want to kind of address that, but I do want to first say because I'm a little back to what Crystal was saying about the client thing. Notice how people, because this is just a good example to me, self-sabotage, and a lot of characters dealt with that in The Color Purple.
Yes.
Self-sabotage that you have to have as a person who is at your wits and needs somebody to talk to, down on your luck, trying to make some logic of the thing. And the one person who you go find to trust is the person who you winded up doing whatever to sabotage them. Thus, it ruins your opportunity for healing. You were more focused on sabotaging someone else when you really dug a grave for yourself.
Right.
Because now who can you trust? And now you got to go start your story and tell
that's biblical
over again.
That's biblical right there. And I've definitely seen that happen. Somebody will talk themselves into a circle trying to be, you know, listen, remaining humble is the name of the game. If Harpo had to remain humble, he'd have got his butt beat up.
But see, that's another thing too. Genetics. You see how it's passed down. He was just like his dad, prone to beat women. Womanizer. They teach their son
what he saw, right?
I think he did. Okay, so listen, let's get a little bit deep. So with my situation, right? There's a person in my life, and I don't want to necessarily say her title or her name, but her mother is close to me, and her mother is her mother was a crackhead. So this girl that I know, her mother's mom was a crackhead, so she's a crack baby. But she's a okay old lady, but she's just got her own little shit going on because of that. But she had all these kids, 5, 6, maybe even 7 kids. I don't know how many damn kids she had, but she has all of these kids, and each one of her kids have some type of mental issue or physical, but definitely mental. None of them got nothing stable really going on. It's just a lot, you know, and it just be all over the place. And her kids all be arguing with each other, type of stuff. And oh damn, wait, I forgot my point. What was we saying before that? Let me remember. Hold on. What was it? What was we saying right before that?
Self-sabotage and betrayal.
Oh, okay, yes. And this mother, she was trying to cause ruckus between her own kids. And I remember somebody saying, damn, I never seen somebody cause issues between their own kids. Like, I remember being like in the background, like watching, like, damn, and listening to them argue. And I remember somebody saying that. Their name started with a V. I'm not going to say no names though. But I remember V saying that in my ear, like, damn, I never seen somebody who just starts shit between their own kids. And it turns out that now none of her kids talk to her, and they all talk to each other. Like, she would keep literally keep mess going on with her kids. None of her kids talk to her. Now they all talk to each other. So it is like you dig that grave for someone else, but it's for yourself. And I believe that derived from jealousy. I believe it derived from feeling like the one of these 5, 6 little girls or the brother is going to be more powerful and stronger willed than her and better looking or more youthful, whatever it is. I believe it derived from some type of insecurity, which is the same like Harpo. Obviously, he was beating Sophia because he had an insecurity,
Right.
whether that was of being emasculated or whether that was being or looking some
Right.
type of way in front of his father. Whatever the case, it all derived that type of betrayal to beat someone, whether you be beating them down emotionally, physically, or whatever. It all derives from a place of insecurity.
Right. And also a place of conditioning and culture and, family ethics, because he grew up in the household. Because in that situation, his only logical response was to start being like his dad, because he saw that's how his dad had control,
Mhm.
And even with the friend you was talking about, those kids was different parts and personalities of the side of the vindictive bitch that the mother was.
Mhm.
And
That
even with there's other people who got parts of each other, and you can tell it's biology and conditioning from the movie. Suge, you can tell, even though her dad betrayed her, she still had his anointing,
Mhm.
you know.
Absolutely.
And he was a preacher, she was a singer. The same way with Mister and Harpo. The same way with Nettie and Celie. They were
Okay,
two,
hold on. I want to go back to Emily real quick, bringing up Suge Avery.
that was it.
And bringing up Suge Avery and her dad. Okay, have you ever seen The Color Purple? Oh my
Y'all
gosh,
could have
have
watched it
you?
first.
Okay, listen. Okay, we got to get Emily. We got to get Emily hooked in to at least see that scene from The Color Purple.
You should have
So,
watched it with him, boo.
okay, tell her the scene.
Which
You
one? Which
the
one?
one where she was walking in the church, walking. Just tell her the giddy up. So Suge Avery is like a hoe. She's sleeping with Mister, who's married to Celie, and she's sleeping in a house with them while they're there together. She's messing with this woman's husband, but she's like known as a hoe. She's a singer and she's promiscuous, and her father's a pastor. And her father is in the church, and she's always wanted his approval, and he's always been like, "Get your ass away from me because you do this and you do that." Speaking of, we've all experienced that where our
Mhm.
parents feel like we're doing something, one
Yeah.
thing or the other. Which yeah, and there's that type of judgment. So we can all feel that and hear that storyline in our hearts and in our souls. Like there's always going to be something, and for her, that's what her something was, right?
And that's
For
projection.
me, it was smoking, right? So I
It was
started smoking at
projection
15.
because the dad, him not being there, is the reason why she had that brokenness in her to be
So
looking
he
up.
just start to do that, right? It's the cycle. It's the
Right.
cycle.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, literally. So did he ever approve? He gave her a hug at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
When she
at
walked
the
up.
at the end he did, but it still took the struggle of what the woman always got to go through, and what the child always got to go through
He
with
had
the
to fight.
because she had to fight all her life for his love. She showed up to his
Sure
church
did.
several times. She popped up singing. She had to pop up like an angel in his choir on the right Sunday to get that hug.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was it. After that was it.
I
She
don't
went through
think
all of that for a hug and for his approval and acceptance. After he
did.
did damaged her in her upbringing. Part
She
of it
did.
was being conditioned to be a young wife. Part of it was conditioned to not having the dad in her life to show a good example of a man. Part of it was the streets and the industry and wanting something better. All that he could have just did if he would have been there, because I'm not even sure if he was still with her mama. He
Yeah.
left the whole family somehow, or she died or something. Because it was also a mystery about Celie and Nettie's mama. They said Mr. murked her.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I think that storyline speaks to the accountability factor of what Emily is saying about her dad. You're not realizing what you're doing. You worried about what I got going on, but what are you doing? What have you done? What have you not done? Do you think that pushing me away from you is going to be healthy for your future, my future, our
Right.
kids? Like what around us is that helping? You know what I mean? That type of dynamic. So I think that storyline speaks to that dynamic, and it speaks to it in a way that's deeper than what people can see, because obviously there's nobody sitting there narrating The Color Purple. But when you can look into real life situations and see real life situations and different dynamics from that one situation, you can see that that particular storyline goes much deeper than we actually even understand. Because this parent, he's sitting there pushing his child away, not
other kids,
but not understanding what you're doing that's wrong. You don't understand your part. You think you're better than and doing something so great that you're not realizing where you're failing. And it might not even be not taking accountability. You might just naturally not understand that your ass is a part of why I'm this way and what I'm choosing to do with myself.
Right.
Excuse me, y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
Thoughts are a
Because
little net.
love is priceless.
Yes.
You can't buy love, so you can show it, but you can't buy it. So that's free. Like, show your love.
Right. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's so important to be there. You know how we talk about how important it is for children to have their parents in their life for their most formidable years, right? Well, it's the same thing for the parent. See, it's a spiritual thing. It's a social thing. If you're not there for the kid and for the baby and for the milestones, you're not gonna have that paternal instinct with the baby either.
Exactly.
That's why it's so easy for the dads to come pop up in their life and then disappear again. That's why it's so easy for them. That's why it's so easy for them to to complain. Oh well, Emily don't call me, so
I think that is the worst.
Yes,
when I tell you, and it really puts a strain on a young child's heart. It puts a strain. I'm your child.
It's like, why I gotta chase you down? You're the parent. Why I gotta chase you? And then even when I take the first step, sometimes I take the first step.
The bigger person and try calling him and everything, and it's like
it's the same results.
It's the same results. And plus, he had his little girlfriend or whatever. He gotta go do anything or not go or do something without her. Like, I just wanted to be me and you. Does your girlfriend think you're gonna do something with your daughter or something? Because she act like she can't leave you alone. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Even you guys know how close Bruce and I were. You guys know that Bruce and I were like right up under. Yeah,
you're not my mom.
Like Bruce and I were right up
but
under
you're
each
not
other.
my mom.
But Bruce and I, when it came time for him to see his children, that was done. He's going to see his kids. I'm not. What do I want to go with you to see your kids for?
What me and my dad got to talk about don't got nothing to do with you.
Right? Why do I need to go with you to see your kids?
You gotta hear everything we talk about.
I
and
don't.
Plus, now I'm grown, so I'm
really
not even a kid. I'm trying to have a grown conversation
with your pops. Right. I wish my dad would always have his damn girlfriend around. Excuse me.
Calls.
Oh my gosh.
So he gotta hurry up and leave.
How do you feel as the? Because so in the book, in The Color Purple, Suge Avery, her mom wasn't in that series, so we didn't get to see that, even that portion of the storyline. How do you feel as the mom of this child that the dad is pushing away?
I just tell her that she doesn't have nothing to worry about because she has me. And then rest in peace to my uncle that died a year or two ago. She had him all her life. So he gave her a good childhood and he was like a father figure to her. So ain't no love lost,
Period. So you just at the point where you like, oh well, like bye nigga. Like,
yeah. My uncle was a dad to them and then I was their mom. So now I'm mom and dad and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And that's how sorry ass men are of all races. They trash sorry, dirty dick breeders. Yeah. And they will
thinking with their dick forward and not with their head.
But see, the same way I was talking about how they'll do with the kid and like, oh, well, why you ain't call that kid? Don't call me. They do the same way with the mom. It's your mama's fault. It's your mama's fault. Because your mama didn't give me no pussy after you was born. And after that, I just couldn't take it. I had to leave. And then they want to make it feel like it's your mom's fault that he ain't there. Well, what's the mom's reason for still being there when you left with that logic?
Yeah.
So it's like, Nothing should be able to take you away from the love or the nurturing or just to want to know the whereabouts of something that you created, yet alone another being you brought into this realm. So
Exactly.
I just go to say baby daddies of all colors.
Right. And listen, they just all do it differently. They do the same things, man.
Sperm don't.
But it ain't even about that. It's really about the betrayal of it all. Hell, Harpo became a baby daddy, but he still was an asshole to get to that process. He had to go through the betrayal to become the baby daddy. So it's really at the root of that is really the betrayal of it all.
Shout out to all the mothers, and especially all the mothers who stay when they're dusty, sorry dick baby daddy breeders.
Yes.
Run off the lawn.
Yes.
Because if y'all was to,
but Harpo was a sub man. Harpo was a sub man of his father. He wanted to be his father. And unfortunately, it caused for him to be a sub man. You have to remember that out there. There are men that look up to other men so bad that they become sub men.
Mm-hmm.
Mini men. Okay? Little mini man that's trying hard to be someone that he's not and someone else. And that's exactly what Harpo was going through as well. And I wanted to have another person up here that could speak to us from rough, straight man, you know what I mean, position, because obviously you have me, you have Emily, you have Yusuf, you have Crystal, and so we bring different dynamics. But I really wanted to get one of those baby daddies up here tonight, and I really did my due diligence to try to find him, so maybe we could have to cuss his ass out.
Any baby fathers in the chat?
Any baby fathers in the chat? Okay, let me tell y'all something, baby fathers. The next time I run back a subject such as this, so tune in on every video, because it might be anytime you see my podcast, I need all the baby fathers to fall through. So baby mamas, make sure your baby fathers fall through, and let your baby Zaddy know I said that you ain't no Sophia or no silly, so don't try it. Clock that. Okay, because we're not doing that over here.
A shout out to the single fathers, because it's a very small minority.
Yes,
but shout out to them though, because I know they somewhere feeling left out. But you should have spoke up. You lucky I spoke up for you just now.
You really are though, because that was what we call grace right there that you just got. Because I forgot all about you.
Exactly. Anyway, shout out to the mothers. You know, and some of us had some stepmoms and still be like, and not everybody gets lucky to have a good dad the way that you had a dad that just loved his daughter so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that is an experience, and it's important. It's nice when you have it, but it's important for people who don't have that to know, or people who do have a dad that's dear and he's sorry to know that you can give him your ass to kiss too.
Let me tell you something. My dad would never do no shit like what Harpo did. Sit up there beating on any woman, let alone my mom. My dad was a whole man, not a half a man.
And then you're going to tell your son to do it too. You're going to not only are you doing that, your son is over here beating on his woman under your house, and you sitting there acting like it ain't nothing happening either, while you're over here doing all this with this underage silly.
Right. Yeah, no, I really got lucky and lucked out to not have that type of man around me.
Nasty.
Yeah, because that was a mess. And excuse me, we should have known Mr. was a mess when his motherfucking house looked like that. That.
And then a lot of them was messing around with all different types of stuff, but you could just tell that it was so much going on in that house. And a lot of controversy around this time when this movie came out. Yes, it was a blockbuster, big hit, well-to-do cultural phenomenon. That's why Oprah making it over again, because the next generation, all of that, because it literally is that deep. And it exposed a lot of what people deal with in households of all people, but then to have a face of black to do it and an all predominantly black cast and all that. So that brought the highlight in the spectrum of not only how it transcends race, but, not only of how to get some representation, but to see how it transcends race and happens in all households. You know how many households that got stuff like that going on, and people touching on somebody, people abusing on somebody, people going through all that. That's in everybody's house. And so that movie, Black Man, was mad as a mother.
Right.
When that movie came out, girl.
Right. I know he was.
Like, how about that?
They should have made the color blue.
Which one? That movie of Micheline, when they came out with that movie of Micheline, Dr. Dre. he got mad. They took
Oh
that
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah.
Remember that movie?
Dr. Dre had Michelle remove her. Yeah. Had her remove it.
That was a
Yeah,
good
because guess
movie.
what? Because men
It
like
was the
that
truth.
don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be seen. That's why I love
wanna
why
stay
there
in
was a
denial.
scene where Sophia beat his ass.
Right, and it needed to happen. That's righteous rage. You need to get exposed because this is the thing. What's worse here? Like, oh, so it's the end of the world because now I was just telling you about this yesterday on the phone. It's always because of what some man felt because he felt some kind of way. He was, so what? Feel that way, process it, move on. Don't sit there fucking ready to burn the whole world down and tear your whole life apart in somebody else's life.
We got to stop making excuses for these men in the way that they move. That's why I was okay with Emily saying, no, I won't forgive. I'm just going to move around. And that's why I'm okay with saying, no, I'm not going to forgive you and move on. You a bully and you abusing me, bitch. You got to go.
And
I'm
that's
not going to just forgive you.
If I said no.
Right. Right. Sometimes we got to say no. And it's sad because the Bible says forgive. And people be like, I forgive you, but I ain't forgot. So step back. That's not true forgiveness. And that's the real shit about it. You can't say I forgive you and still be holding a record of what that person did wrong. So the fact that's not forgiving. So the fact of the matter is, no, I don't forgive you.
Right.
That's what's
real. Put it in the back of your mind. When they say forgiveness is for you, not for them, yeah, you got to somehow get it out of your mind to enough degree where you can focus and not obsess over it because it's F them for real.
Right.
It's like you're not just saying it to get back. It's literally F them back.
Right. Well, child, listen, this is my first day being back single, y'all, and it was a rough day. So, it's literally F them. So
welcome to the Singles Club.
You're welcome. Yeah. I mean, not you're welcome. Look, thank you. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do when we be by ourselves. That's when we make the most magic.
I'm telling you. And I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it in 24 hours, but we turn. Period. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this video. Yusuf, do you want to drop any social or anything?
I gotta come back and do it because I got way too many devices up, and I shared it on my wall.
Okay. So you guys go to Yusuf's channel. It's Ratchet Today, The Teal Kitchen, Celebrity and Galactic. Tell me what it is.
The Celebrity and Crime Intergalactic News Galaxy Broadcasting System, as well as the Ratchet Today Show. I still got the Ratchet Today Show, and
which is my favorite one.
And then the Teal Kitchen.
Okay. Okay. Gotta love teal. Y'all know that's one of my favorite colors. I want to thank Crystal and I want to thank Miss Emily. Ooh, okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the show today and for being open and honest with your stories. You guys, again, this video was like an impromptu last minute. I wanted to put something else up for the night on the channel because I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. And Lord knows it is midnight 30 on the East Coast, and I know you guys are tuning in with me from there too. I truly appreciate you guys so much for that. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Yusuf and I will see you later, and don't forget, if you have not seen or read The Color Purple, you can read The Color Purple by Alice Walker, not Cooper. And also, if you have not seen the movie, there are several to pick from. The latest one was Oprah Winfrey's 2024, dropped around Christmas time in 2024. So go look for that. And let me know what you guys think. Make sure you come back and join us. There'll be more podcasts in store. In the meantime, peace and love.